Just one song. What was the one song you sang when you were young?
I can take you to the moon and back if you be my baby. Right? How's that go?
Is Darren in the room?
His name's Darren?
Yeah.
I didn't know his name.
I read that pamphlet front to back many times.
Ash is like, you can wreck my Savage Garden.
I don't remember his last name, but
You wanted his last name. Jeez. God, guys, welcome to the Real Awkward Podcast, the best damn podcast you heard
Today.
My name is Andy,
Amanda.
I'm Ashley.
and that was faster than you normally go.
You're welcome.
Woohoo! Today's episode is a very special episode brought to you by Ashley.
From Ashley.
It just keeps going.
I could have, but you would have stopped
And then
me.
you hear the breathing.
You would have been like, I hate this. Please stop.
No, I mean, maybe.
I mean, that's what you usually say.
Maybe after. Give me context. Give me context here. That's terrible.
No context.
If this is your first time listening, welcome. We are a podcast dedicated to nerdy, pop culture and movie things.
Sure.
This is
More like whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we're a jack of all trades, if you will. We're a
Master of none.
queen of all grades. We're a
Sure.
king of all spades. We're
Sure.
You can stop while you're
a
ahead.
jester of all grenades.
You're a jester.
Okay, I am a jester. I'm the class clown. What are we doing today? Sorry to really like.
What the fuck is happening today?
Here, let me press this button. Burp, 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 ba-doo.
Okay, so here's the deal. I feel like Amanda when I say that. Amanda has a Regal Unlimited pass.
Oh.
So she goes to all the movies.
Oh, the movies.
And recently she has talked to me about a couple kids movies that aren't quite up to par.
Wait, you say that there's kids movies she enjoyed that you're like, or you're like, she watched movies and she was like, this is ass.
The ass one.
Got it. The ass one. Okay. Got
That one.
So it just made me think, like, are there no good, like, kids movies anymore?
it.
Right?
Got
So
it.
that was in the back of my mind.
Okay.
And then this week I was looking through movies to stream so that I could have a movie night with my kids. And in my 90s brain, I want to let them see all of the movies that I loved as a kid.
Yes.
Because they've got to love them, right?
Yes. You don't have a choice.
Right.
Yes.
So I decided
Yes.
since current movies are not good, and obviously all the ones from our childhood are the best,
Banger.
Right.
we need to talk about our top 10
Error.
childhood flicks.
You should make that a series where it's like our top 10 favorite foods. Our top 10 movies.
Okay.
Okay. All right. How do you want to
Noted.
how you want to play this? And if you're listening in the car, you can play along too. We just won't be listening.
Okay.
Just shout it out.
Just
No,
shout
head to
out
our
yours.
head to our Instagram page and let us know yours in the middle of the episode.
So I have asked Amanda and Andy and myself
Yes.
to prepare a list of our favorite movies from our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now I will say, when you asked us to do this, you said, guys, go ahead and give me 10 of your favorite childhood movies. And Amanda and I both did extra credit
you
homework.
sure did.
So
So
neither of us, we were both like, I can't just do 10.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We've got quite a beat. So do
'Kay.
you want to kick this off?
yeah, I'm
with,
trying.
With like a top, like what's your fave? Or do you want to just get into it?
I was trying to direct this. But kind
Okay.
of just keep taking over. So
Okay.
if you want to?
No.
Am I
Go,
good?
yeah,
Am I
yeah.
good?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Am I good?
How do you want to do this?
Okay. Amanda, take a look at your list
Okay.
and pick a movie on your list.
Wow. So
that
much
was
planning.
something you rented over and over and over again.
Ooh.
Okay, so when I was doing this list, I was thinking about like when we were kids and one of us got to pick a movie and like we went to like the stack of VHSs
Mhm,
or
mhm.
to like the bookshelf of VHSs and what one did I put in over and over. But I would say the movie that I rented the most that I think my parents got tired of renting was probably Casper.
Ooh, I think you talked about Casper on one of our episodes too.
I love Casper.
Yeah.
I still love that movie. It's corny. It's really corny. But it was really good. It was like kind of sad, but also spooky at the same time. And now it's getting kind of looped in with Hocus Pocus as like a classic 90s Halloween movie. And it's not super like happy. It's kind of a bummer.
I remember it being a little bit more depressive.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
a kid died and now he's a ghost in
Right.
a house
Right.
and he's alone except for his 3 uncles who are shitty to him.
It's so
And then
sad.
he finally meets another kid and she's like upset that he isn't real.
Let's make it worse.
So, but
Fair.
it was great.
It's a good one. Casper, nice
I think
choice.
Casper holds up. I loved
choice.
the uncles and like the characters.
Mhm.
That
Also, the graphics. I remember I think we talked about that when we talked about when that released. I forget. It was like 96 or 7.
I want to
to
say 96.
Yeah, I think we talked about it in that episode
you're right,
of our box office throwback. But Casper still, like, the graphics look great in that freaking live action movie.
Yeah.
Good choice, Amanda. Good choice. You had
I
a good
tried.
childhood. You had a good childhood with that movie.
I mean, sure.
You or me? What are you doing?
You.
Oh, okay.
I'm hosting this.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Your first question was, which one did you rent?
Yeah.
Okay, this one's super embarrassing. So me and my sister would go to the library and we were able to rent
Yes.
VHSs. And for some reason, we rented this movie over and over, and it's called If Looks Could Kill with Richard Grieco. Like, literally, it is about a high school kid that's about to flunk out, and he has to go on this trip across Broad to get some extra credit. And when he gets there, he gets mixed up as a spy. So this, like, high school kid has to go be a spy for this, like, 007 program, and he ends up getting all the cool gadgets and cars and girls, and ends up having this like epic fight with like these villains. And me and my sister rented that probably like 20 or 30 times from the library. And I don't know why we loved it so much. It's absolutely awful. It's like 1991 terrible action movie. But you remember Richard Grieco, like from 21 Jump
I have
Street?
no idea who that is.
Oh, okay. Amanda, do you remember who he is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he was like kind of heartthrobby back then for girls, but like uber mullets going on, super hokey. But yeah, that one was like over and over again. It's called If Looks Could Kill.
I feel like
Yeah,
I remember you trying to find that one time
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, like you couldn't quite remember the name of it at first. I don't know if you ever found it.
Nope, I thought it was called License to Kill, but that's
That's something different.
the actual either Bond or something similar to it. But no, I could never find it. I'm still on the hunt for it, I think, right now. I don't own it currently. but I
Maybe
need
it
to.
was never put on DVD.
Ooh, if that's the case, man, that's probably an expensive son bitch.
You're probably right.
All right. That is the most obscure one on my list, by the way, only because we rented that one randomly at the
Yeah.
library.
It
Everything
has-
else is way notable. So
It has a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, so it's a real movie.
it's a real movie. I'm just making it up. Me and my sister are like,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
false memories.
okay. All right.
One that we rented over and over again, and I only remember we rented it over and over again because one time we sent my mom to get it and she grabbed the wrong movie.
Uh-oh. She get
And
pirates?
classic mom.
So this movie, it's not that, it was way long ago. We rented this movie a lot called North.
Okay.
And the movie my mom picked up was called Mr. North, and it was dreadfully boring. And we shut it off and returned it.
Mr. North.
But North has Elijah Wood.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
And it's
Okay.
basically
yeah.
about a kid who is mad at his parents, and he runs away to like go find new parents.
Okay.
But he like travels
Yeah.
the world and
Right.
like meets all these different people and like tries to find like new parents.
Okay.
I don't know if that's saying anything.
He was like, I really like that movie.
And I
want new
honestly
parents."
don't remember a single scene in this movie. I just remember that we rented it a lot.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Did everyone like it or just you?
I think my sister and I.
Oh, okay.
Watched
Gotcha.
it a lot,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Okay, you
Okay.
ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
It has a 4.5 out of 10.
Ooh.
Woo!
And his parents were Jason Alexander and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, look at that. I think we are just loving bangers as kids,
Oh,
dude.
man.
We're just like, this stuff's so good, and it was not good.
It was just
Well, you're a
we
kid.
got good stuff, though. We got really
Redundancy.
good stuff on these lists.
I mean,
Come on.
honestly, though, think about it. Like, you're a kid, right? So, like,
Yeah.
you're just, like, finding pieces of a movie that you like.
Right. Yeah.
Like, so, you know.
Okay.
All right, Amanda, give us something else on your list.
Okay,
What,
the movie
what pops in your head?
here's this is the movie that I watched over and over and over and over as a little kid. The one that, like, I guess if you ask me what I want to watch, this was the movie. That's what I'm going to start with, okay?
Is it on the top of your list?
Yes, it was. It was the first
Okay.
movie I wrote
Okay.
All
down.
right.
Okay.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, it's on my list.
Hell yeah.
Okay, but I have to put a caveat in there. It is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but also Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Oh, see,
Yep.
I didn't like any of the other ones.
Yep.
Because
I didn't like anything beyond that, but I liked the one with the giant baby.
it. Okay, the giant
Yeah.
baby was fun. It was funny. I just didn't. I think for me, the first one still is a comfort movie, and so
Sure.
anything else, it just wasn't the same.
It's still good. Rick Moranis,
Oh.
like
Incredible. Incredible.
It's still good.
I
Like,
wish
when
I would have put
watched
that
it,
one on the list now. I didn't even think about that one, but that's a good
This
one.
is the movie when I'm really sick and I just want to lay in bed and have something on that who cares if my eyes are closed while it's on. This is the movie.
so when I mentioned that I was trying to find a movie for me to watch with the kids, I gave them a choice between Enchanted and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Nice.
And they picked Enchanted.
They would have liked
unfortunately.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I think.
We will still watch it.
Also, I don't like the boy in that movie. He's really like the teenager, like that she has the crush on, the neighbor.
The brother.
I hate him, dude. He's so like, oh, I want to punch him in the face.
He's supposed to be, isn't
So bad. But then also, I realized that bananas give you potassium because of that movie.
he? Wow. The things you learn.
Well, there's
Yeah.
because there's the older brother and the younger brother of
Yes.
the neighbor family, and they're
Yes.
both dicks. They're both awful. The dad's awful.
Yeah.
But the Zelinsky family, I'm like, I want to be a part of that family, dude. Like, they are so cool. I remember as a kid, I like dreamed that I would find a giant oatmeal cream pie.
Oh, I remember being like, that looks so good.
Nothing of
Yeah.
fake food has ever
Yep.
looked better.
And instead,
agree.
they've only gotten smaller.
Right?
and the bee in that movie, right?
Honey,
Like
I
they-
Shrunk the
Yes.
oatmeal cream pie.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
the
I remember.
random the random
what?
scorpion in the yard
Oh
attacking
yeah,
Auntie.
that was weird. That was weird. I will say, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. I didn't enjoy as much, just
No.
like you said too. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I thought it was more interesting because the kids are in wonderment, where the parents are just like, we just got to get back to like the kids.
That's fair. Trying to communicate
Yeah,
with the kids.
but I will say I watched Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, where he's like King Kong in Vegas,
Uh-huh.
dude.
Yeah.
Like that was, I think that was actually my first like reference to Las Vegas. Like the first time I had seen
Okay.
anything
Yeah.
Vegas related. So, good one too. Really good one.
All right,
Well,
Andy, what's
so-
on the top of your list? Oh, you got something else, man?
Oh no,
Sorry, for what it's worth. I mean, I don't know if you want me to keep doing this or not. It's just fun for me. IMDb rating 6.4 out of 10.
Oh yeah. This one literally, it probably got played over 1,000 times with me and my sister. That's an exaggeration because that's a lot of
Yeah,
times,
that's
but
a lot.
it feels like it. And it is the annexation of Puerto Rico, baby. Little Giants.
Ha!
Little Giants. And that another Rick Moranis banger.
Yes.
Dude, he grows up with his brother. His brother is played by oh my God, Married with Children. What's his name? Al Bundy. What's that
Ed
actor's
O'Neill.
name? Ed O'Neill. He's played by Ed O'Neill, and when he's younger, he gets pushed around, and his big brother is like this big little league football coach, who they call him the Cowboys. And Rick Moranis is like, well, I'm going to make my own team. And he's like, you can't do that. He's like, yeah, watch me. And he gets all the like the degenerates and the awful kids that can't play and the ones with health issues and like
The nerds.
and ends up they're the nerds and ends up and he gets his daughter to play and she's called Icebox and she's actually like really good because they won't let girls play on the team. And they end up like beating them, which was like really cool. But the whole antics as they're practicing and going through everything, freaking incredible, man. So good. So good. Like there's a joke in there where they're trying out for the team and some of the guys get kicked off that go to Little Giants instead. And he gets knocked down during practice. And when he opens his helmet, he's got Cheetos in it. And Ed O'Neill comes up and he goes, are they crunchy or puffed? And then the other coach goes, puffed. He goes, wimp, get off my team. Dude,
love
so
it.
good. Little Giants was so good. So I wasn't even really into football, but I don't know, for some reason I really thought that movie was awesome. It was great.
Honestly, there's a whole slew of sports movies in that genre, like
Yeah.
that time
Yep.
frame.
Oh, they're all on here.
Uh,
They're all
Oh,
on
well,
here.
really?
just tell me just rattle them off.
You want me to just rattle the sports
rattle
ones?
them off. Yeah.
Okay, you guys probably have this on your list. If you don't, you're wrong. Angels in the Outfield.
Not on my list.
Oh my God.
Nope.
dude,
I don't
so
have any
good.
sports movies on my list,
Okay,
to be fair.
Angels in the
I
Outfield for me was
don't
like
have any.
a constant watch. Like that would be on all the time. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a young kid. He's an orphan, and he ends up helping literally the Anaheim Angels like win games because angels are behind them and he can see them, which is super cool. And then Rookie of the Year is on
More
that
baseball.
list too, right?
We
Just-
know you loved baseball.
I loved baseball back then, but that one was funny. If you guys don't know that one, basically a kid is pretty terrible as a pitcher, and he ends up breaking his arm, and it like tightens his tightens his tendons up, and now he can throw like super fast. And if
That
I'm not
means-
mistaken,
That he didn't do physical therapy.
I think Gary Busey
Plot hole.
is in
I
this
think
movie.
so.
I think Gary Busey is the pitcher and he like falls in love with his mom or something like that. It's really like he's so weird. He's so weird. Let's talk about buttered sausage.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's such a weirdo.
And then do I have another sports one in here? Sandlot.
Of course.
So there you go. Those three baseball films were nonstop for me.
Oh,
Sandlot.
see, you're missing one that I assumed you would have.
See, for me, those three seem more kid oriented. Which one do you have?
Oh, I don't have it, but I
Oh.
just assumed you did. Mighty Ducks.
Oh, I didn't have Mighty Ducks on there. I
Oh,
watched
see?
it a lot, but I don't feel like it was as much of a staplehood.
See, that's how
Staple.
that was
Just-
exactly how I
just
felt.
staple.
Staple of my
That's how I
childhood.
felt about the Sandlot and about the Mighty Ducks. Was I remember watching them a handful of times and I really liked them,
Yeah.
but I don't remember them being like, these are the movies I watched all the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, and
Yeah.
I saw Mighty Ducks. Maybe there was like a year there where we watched it a lot, but it wasn't always in the
Yeah.
rotation. So
Yeah.
I feel like of all the
Yeah.
ones you mentioned, Sandlot is probably the most memorable.
for
Is-
you,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Is Little Giants the one where the little guy is looking in the mirror and he goes, I'm gonna pump you up.
I think so.
That's all I remember.
I think so. There's also a kid that has like every disease known to man, and his mom like wraps him in foam. And
Is
he's
that
like,
the?
he has a
that the
snot
kid-
bubble. Like,
Yes, I was gonna say, is that the
Yes.
snot bubble?
Yes, that's a snot
The
bubble kid.
the other one I feel like at this time was the Big Green.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Soccer,
there's a soccer
Yeah,
one,
soccer
yeah.
with the same kid from Mighty Ducks, right? The
Yes.
redhead, or is that not the same kid? Is it the same kid?
No, I think
No,
it is
Sandlot.
The
Same kid from Sandlot.
Yeah, that
yeah.
guy. Yeah.
The catcher. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so the top one on my list, I don't even know why I was allowed to watch this as so much as a kid, but number one on my list, is Death Becomes Her.
Oh my
We've talked about that movie, and you just told me, and I didn't know they're remaking it.
Well, I hope so.
Really?
I tried to look it up after I saw that post, and apparently it was just like rumored or
that makes me sad.
whatever. But I guess they did a Broadway play of it, and so
I'd go watch that though. Yeah.
I did like the idea of the casting if they remade it, because it was Kate Hudson,
and Anne Hathaway,
and Anne Hathaway,
yep,
and then it was Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
and Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool.
And I think it'd be a really cool casting. But
Lady Gaga would be Isabella Rossellini's character.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think it could be remade tastefully. But
it's so good.
The OG is so good. Like Goldie Hawn and Meryl Streep are amazing in their roles. Bruce Willis, you don't even realize it's Bruce Willis until you think back, and then you're like, "Oh my god, that is Bruce Willis."
Yep.
But I think this like sprouted my love for like forensics and like true crime.
I love it.
It's just like
I
these
will
women
say,
trying to destroy each other.
I watched that movie maybe like 5 or 6 times as a kid, but it's always stuck with me, and maybe just because of like some of the graphic scenes and stuff, like where they're spinning their heads around.
And this was one that I personally, as a child, would ask to be rented over and over again. It was nobody
fair.
else. I would sit there and watch it by myself.
That's awesome.
See,
I like that.
I don't remember watching it when I was like younger. I remember watching it like on TV, like early in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I was watching like the TV edit, so then I rented it. But I was a teen, like I wasn't young.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah.
So once I was older, then I was like, oh my god, I want to rent this movie again. But I didn't watch it when I was young. My parents were really weird about stuff we could watch. I mean, I've talked about this before. We could watch certain things, but not other things. So I'm sure a movie with the name Death in the title, my mom was like, oh, no.
I always have a
what's
feeling.
the IMDb rating on it, Amanda?
Let's find out, shall we? 6.6 out of 10.
Okay.
All right. What's up next?
It's Amanda's turn.
Okay.
Okay.
What you got?
So here's one that we used to watch all the time. So this was one that it wasn't in the theaters or anything, but it was like a VHS only. Mary-Kate and Ashley, The Mysteries. So hold on. So the Mary-Kate and Ashley Mysteries, we've seen all of them, but the one that I watched all the time was the Mary-Kate and Ashley, The Case of Thorn Mansion. It's like this mystery mansion in Transylvania, and for our listeners, I'm doing air quotes, and it's obviously like a mansion in California, and there's like the mystery is that there's a ghost that's been seen, but then once they like go and check it out, it's not a ghost, it's the owner of the home, and he's a beekeeper, and so he walks around like in his bee outfit, like the white jumpsuit so he doesn't get stung. And then you learn about bees, and then they go, mystery solved, and then they're like, we'll solve any crime by dinner time. And then it would go home.
This was not on my list.
Elizabeth Olsen is actually in a lot of those.
Yes, she is.
Like the mystery ones.
The sister, her sister.
Because they're like at home chilling, and then they get a phone call that there's a mystery to solve, and like their little sister will be there.
That's funny. Interesting.
I also have a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen on my list because I was tried and true. I was part of their fan club.
Oh, girl, I wore their makeup,
all their movies.
See, I didn't like some of the feature films. I like the mysteries.
The one on my list is It Takes Two.
Okay, yeah,
I watched this countless times. I remember so many quotes from it.
I don't remember the plot of that.
So there's 2 girls, and one is like part of a rich family, and she's getting a new stepmother, and she's really upset about it. And one is like an orphan, and she's about to be placed with a family that's awful.
But they're twins?
No.
Oh.
They just look
exactly alike.
But they both run away from their homes and run into each other randomly. And they're like, what? Look like me. You look like me. And then they switch places.
Oh, okay. Maybe I do remember this a little bit. Yeah.
It's like Steve Guttenberg.
Oh,
Kirstie
Alley. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
So
R.I.P.
that was one on our list that my sisters used to watch that one all the time. But see, okay, jumping off of this, one that's actually on my list is I used to prefer The Parent Trap.
Oh yes, I remember
with
The Parent Trap.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yes, I watched that a lot.
I still
They're
like that
remaking
movie.
it
No.
with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Or maybe it's a sequel
Wait,
or something.
Isn't that where they swap, or is that no? Am I wrong?
That's
Oh wait,
Freaky
not Parent
Friday.
Trap. That's Freaky Friday.
yeah, Freaky Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Parent
well-
Trap.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The Parent Trap is when Lindsay Lohan plays herself, and a lot of people thought she had a twin.
That's right.
Yes,
yeah.
which was actually incredible, but
And
it
they-
also came
and-
off of an original that
Oh, yeah.
was.
Hey,
do you guys remember the teacher in Saved by the Bell?
Yeah.
Like the-
Miss Bliss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was her, young. She was the original actress in Parent Trap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I used to watch that one
Yep.
too. But I loved the new Parent Trap. But also, what a shitty way to like raise your children. These parents had twins and then got divorced and then decided the best way to raise them was to not know anything about the other and to like pretend like the other parent died or something. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, that's
It's
awful.
messed up. It's messed up. Why you guys watching messed up movies as kids? I'm over
I
here watching
mean-
baseball movies.
So what young teeny bopper child star is on your list, Andy?
Kirsten Dunst in Jumanji.
Oh, that's on my list too.
So Jumanji was like that had to have been a staple for like 3 or 4 years in the house, dude. Like every single thing about that movie, anything from Robin Williams' portrayal as Alan Parrish. Alan Parrish. It took me years to realize that the bounty hunter is his father. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, holy crap. I mean, honestly, the setup and payoffs in that movie's fantastic. The like Judy and Peter like dynamic is really cool. All the graphics were fantastic, but I could have watched that movie over and over and over again. Like Judy is still in my head because of that.
You say it
freaking
all the
movie.
time.
But then I also had like I think Kirsten Dunst and I we're not too far off on age, and so I had like a crush on her
Fair enough.
back then. Yeah,
You like the blondes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Back then.
Dude, I used to have the board game, and well, I mean, I still have the board
Yeah.
game, and my family used to get tired of playing it with me. So I'll jump off this because I have more. Kirsten Dunst was also in a movie that I used to watch all the time when I was a kid called The Tower of Terror.
Oh, I've never seen that. I don't think I've ever seen it. Yeah.
It also has the 90s second dad after Rick Moranis, Steve Guttenberg. And so it was like an ABC family movie. Like,
Okay,
you remember
yeah.
when they would do like they premiere a new movie on
Yeah.
ABC. So, okay, so it was right when the Tower of Terror was opening at Disneyland.
Right.
And they made like an as made for TV movie for the story of Tower of Terror.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like the Steve Guttenberg is like a photographer, reporter kind of thing for like a National Enquirer-esque magazine. And I think his niece is Kirsten Dunst, and she kind of does it with him. And they hear about like a haunted hotel. And then it ends up being they kind of have to help figure out why the souls are like trapped in the hotel.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So it's like a scary movie for like
Yeah.
8 or 9 year olds.
Well, because I mean, the ride is just that you drop, but you like to like walk through the creepy hotel as
Yeah,
you're getting
so-
up to it.
So the movie goes through the hotel and then everyone died in the elevator shaft because the elevator shaft did plummet like the length of the hotel.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, see, I love that movie. I still watch it all the time. I don't think you can find it online, or maybe you can now with Disney Plus. But
I think
for
you
the
can. I
longest-
feel like I've seen clips of like bits and pieces of it recently, and I don't know why. But as you're talking about it, I'm like, that sounds like very familiar.
yeah.
But I know I didn't watch it as a kid.
No. A lot of those ABC like specials or family stuff, I didn't watch a lot of that stuff back then.
So to piggyback off of that, I also have a Steve Guttenberg movie, apparently my second one, that I watch all the time.
3 Men and a Baby.
3 Men and a Baby, but also 3 Men and a Little Lady.
Oh, yes, that's right. There was both of them.
You had to do
that's
both.
True. Yes, that's true. It was him, Ted Danson, and
Howie
other guy?
Mandel.
No, Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, and
Yeah, and Steve Guttenberg.
Yes, that's right. I
Yes.
forget, how do they end up with this child again? In the
It
first
appears
place?
at their doorstep.
Oh, okay. That simple.
That seems natural.
Yep. All right,
A
dudes.
young woman abandons an infant in front of their loft.
Interesting. Just 3 bachelors just hanging out. And they're like, what do we do?
So, okay. New York roommates Peter, Michael, and Jack. Jack is Ted Danson. Are all successful and happily unmarried. But Peter and Michael get the surprise of a lifetime when a young woman abandons an infant in front of their loft. They also receive a letter stating that the child named Mary belongs to Jack, but he's away on business. Michael and Peter are then forced to care for Mary, and though they make hopeless babysitters, they soon become quite attached to the girl.
Got it. See, to me, that's I didn't put it on the list, but I should have. That to me, it's in the same vein as like Curly Sue.
Also on my
Oh,
list.
okay. There you go, dude. Curly Sue's so good, though, dude.
It's so
like,
good. We rewatched it
yes, we
like a
did.
couple years
Yep,
back,
Yep.
sitting on the floor, like through in the VHS.
Yep. Yep.
And it held up. It's
It did.
so good.
Yeah, it did, and it,
It's John Hughes,
it's-
right?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, what is that actor's name? I always forget.
Jim Belushi.
Jim Belushi. So obviously, right, his brother's passing and stuff like that. He really did like take the reins and like keep it going for the Belushis. But he's like this like gruff dad that just gets his daughter like through tough situations, and he's so creative on like what he can do,
Mhm.
and then falling in love with this like rich aristocrat like
He's
lady.
a con artist. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
Okay, to be fair, he's a con artist, but he also does everything he can to give his daughter the best life, and she
Yeah.
doesn't know any different, which is kind of like, I think I always like respected that. Like she didn't know. She's just like, I don't. It's not even her dad. It's like, isn't it like somebody else that just ended up caring for her? I forget. I actually forget. I don't remember because she
she's
calls him by the first name or something. So
She's an orphan.
oh, see, yes, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I didn't remember that part.
And she just ends up being like basically his daughter. But yes,
My favorite part
yes.
as a kid was when she eats the pizza and then
Oh.
she licks all of her fingers at the very end.
Yes. Yep. Everyone.
Yep.
I always remember the bathtub where she does the huge alfalfa
Uh-huh.
thing, and they're like, yeah. Great, freaking awesome movies though. But that whole like, let's take care of an orphan. Those movies
Very,
happened a lot.
very late 80s, early 90s.
Yes.
I always remember. I think I've seen that movie once or twice. I haven't seen it many times,
Right.
but I just remember her hair, like, was
Yeah.
just huge.
It's
but I
incredible.
remember
When she
There's
first brushed it out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. I there's a scene where they're playing cards or something because I just remember her. There's like when I think of Curly Sue, I think of the huge hair and then a moving image of her like flipping a bunch of cards. Like I don't know. That's what I have.
Oh
Yeah, because they
yeah.
learned to play poker. Or
Yeah,
something,
but she's
right?
but
Oh,
she's
yeah.
good,
Yeah.
and she basically cons him.
Yeah.
and gets money.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one too. That's a great one. That's a great one.
Well, if nobody else has anything to say,
Okay.
I have another orphan on my list.
Okay,
oh
who do you
God,
have?
hit us.
Pippi Longstocking.
Ooh, wait.
Pippi
Is that a movie or
Longstocking
the
is
show?
coming
The
into your
movie.
town.
See, I knew Pippi Longstocking. I didn't watch any Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was so good. Like she's so precocious and none of it makes any sense, but you're just like, okay, like we'll
Is
go
she
along
like
with this.
kooky? Right?
She's
Isn't-
just like got a really big imagination, and
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that makes
she's
sense.
in her house alone, and she
Right.
talks about how her father went out on this like jungle excursion, and he would always come back and like tell her stories and bring her gifts,
Oh, okay.
but like he's never around, and so she just does whatever she wants.
Got it.
And like the neighbor kids come over and like befriend her, and she's like getting them into all this trouble and stuff.
I think I only know that by name alone. Like I don't think I've seen anything from Pippi Longstocking. Yeah.
is coming into your world. A
So-
freckle-faced redhead girl you ought to know. And that's why I loved her.
Yes.
Period.
Megan used to watch Pippi Longstocking. Megan was obsessed. And there was one year that she was Pippi Longstocking for Halloween.
Who
And
wasn't? You put a little like wire in your hair.
my
Oh,
mom,
yeah.
I remember
Braid
my
it?
mom like did braided pigtails and then bent a wire hanger
Uh-huh.
and like
That's awesome.
made like a headband out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cute. Yeah, and then there was a movie I remember at Blockbuster. There was an Adventures of Pippi Longstocking where she had like she was like a pirate.
Yeah. And she had a
Yeah.
monkey as a pet.
Sure, sounds
Yeah.
about right.
That's really
mean-
funny.
She'd be the weird girl now, though.
Oh, yeah.
So many orphans, man. Even like Angels in the Outfield, it's like 2 orphans, like foster kids.
Well, I think-
like,
Let
yeah.
me think. What's another one? I think one. Because one on my list, I think he's an orphan. I don't know for sure.
Well,
was
and
the
both in Jumanji, both kids are orphans. Remember?
no?
Yeah, because their parents get into a
Oh,
car
it's
wreck.
their aunt. It's their aunt.
Correct.
That's right. That's right.
yeah, so they're orphans.
And
like,
It Takes Two, she was an orphan.
yeah,
Yes.
geez, man, that must have just been the thing back then.
So one movie that I don't know if the kid had parents was Blank Check. That's one
on
that's
my
on my
list,
list.
That one is on my list. Yes, that one
so
is
this
on
is the
my
first one
list.
that's on all 3 of our lists.
I think all 3 of our lists. Blank Check, man. So
Dude.
good.
So good.
It's so good. I think because every young kid wanted that life.
Oh,
they were
100
like,
shoot.
Oh my god!
Yes.
But now you're like, now you laugh because you're like, ain't no $1 million gonna buy all that shit.
yeah,
Nope.
right.
Like,
yeah,
mm-mm.
Mr. McIntosh.
Mr. McIntosh.
Yes, that's right. And then, but I will say, it was the ending is creepy when he has the crush on
Yeah.
the older lady,
Yes, and they kiss.
she kisses him
Yes.
on
Yeah.
the lips,
Yeah.
and says, "Call me in 10 years or something."
yeah.
Yeah.
Creepy.
It got a little weird. If those roles were reversed and it was a dude and a little girl, yeah, right? Come on.
Oh, that reminds me of one I
Come
didn't put on my
on.
list that I should have.
What?
I don't know if you guys remember. It's called Milk Money.
It kind of sounds familiar.
It's like this kid that like is trying to find like a wife for his dad or something.
Okay.
And he hires a prostitute.
Oh, wait.
Was it Melanie Griffith?
Yes, because you told me about this years ago, and I had never heard of it, and like you were explaining it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also weird now.
Oh, very weird. Yeah. I mean, take away the creepy part of the blank check towards the end. That girl, though, by the way, is the same one that's one of the henchmen in Dumb and Dumber.
Is she?
Yes. Yes. So it's like her and then like the gas man, like they're the ones that are like going after him the entire time. So she didn't do a whole lot, if
I
I'm
couldn't
not
put a
mistaken.
face to her.
But dude, I remember what it's like. He like hires a butler or a like chauffeur or something like
Well,
that.
yes, I know Tone Loc is like his bodyguard.
Yeah, dude, and they're just hanging out. And he builds a racetrack behind his house. And
Yeah.
dude, I remember, if I'm not mistaken, can't he like slide out of his bedroom into like a pool or something from his top room, like in like a
I
slide?
think so.
Dude, it was so cool. It was so cool.
Honestly, dude, the end that had like the final takedown with Miguel Ferrer's character
yeah,
was so good. He like punches him in the face and stuff.
That blank check, man. It's up there.
classic.
Top
Oh,
10.
I should watch that with Lincoln. I bet he'd get
Yeah.
a kick out of it.
It's a
He
fun
would
one.
love
I bet
that.
the kids would enjoy it too. I'm curious if this is on everybody's list, but Hook.
Nope.
Never watched it as a kid.
Really?
And I don't like it.
I'm surprised. I know you
I don't
talked
like
to me
Hook.
about not liking it. And you don't like Hook either? Dude, I feel
No,
like I
I've
watched
said,
Hook so much.
I've said I did not love Hook.
Oh man, looky, I got hooky. Dude, Rufio, like all that stuff. I don't know. I remember that all being like really maybe it was just popular back then. You know, was there like Burger King toys?
I think I
Or
want to say
something like that.
McDonald's.
Maybe McDonald's toys. Like I remember Rufio on like a
Yes.
sheet thing
Yeah.
where or you right, like with wheels.
I think they
like
were
on a
bathtub
skateboard.
toys or something.
Yeah, or something like that.
Mm.
So I have one, and I don't know if you guys like this movie, but me and my sister watched it a lot. Baby's Day Out. Did you ever watch
Mm-mm.
Baby's Day Out?
I
might have.
think I
Maybe.
saw it, but it wasn't a staple for
Do you remember
sure.
what it was? So basically, this little baby, I'm like 1 year old. There's these 3 henchmen, and they're basically trying to like I think the baby either has something on his neck or like something in his pocket, like that they need, like a jewel. And he literally like
Does he just like wander around
He just
town?
wanders around town, and they're just chasing him the entire
I
time.
feel like my brain always mixed it up with Look Who's Talking.
And it might be kind of similar in that.
No, because Look Who's Talking was
aspect.
not a kid's movie.
No.
Oh,
It's
no.
very much about because Bruce Willis is the voice, right, of the baby.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Joe
So-
Montanga, the one who's in Criminal Minds.
Joe
Uh-huh.
Montana.
Montana.
And Joe Pantoliano or whatever.
Yes. And then Brian Haley, who nobody really knows, but they're the 3 henchmen. So, and this little
Huh.
kid, dude, like he's on skyscrapers. He's doing all sorts of silly stuff as they're like
It's like that
chasing him,
Tiny
but-
Toons character
Yes.
that like
yes.
Yes.
The entire
yeah.
time.
The Who's Framing Roger Rabbit.
We
the
watch
baby.
Baby's
Yeah.
Day Out quite
Um,
often, but that also falls under like Dunstan Checks In.
There
Dude,
was
there's a
Yeah.
whole if you want to go Dunstan
Yes.
Checks In, there's a whole animals category
yes.
that
Well-
we could discuss here.
there's a whole animals category, but there's a whole category of a couple of bad guys are going after a baby or an animal
Yeah,
for some
right.
reason,
Yes.
and then hijinks ensue.
Yes.
Monkey Trouble.
Yes, Monkey. I
Same
remember that.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember Baby's Day Out. I don't know if we might have watched it once. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you guys watch The Page Master?
Yes, but I don't know if I was into it as much, but Macaulay Culkin, and he gets trapped into the fantasy horror and
I definitely wasn't
something else,
allowed.
and Pirate Land, Adventureland.
Yeah.
Um,
That
yeah.
movie was the shit for me back in the day. I had toys. I had the Super Nintendo game.
yeah.
And my favorite thing, and I wish they were easier to find now, but like they had plushies like of the 3 books that he
Yeah.
befriends.
I remember that. Yeah.
Those plushies were cool, but then they came with like a little book in the back of them.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I had the horror one when I was a
Yeah.
kid, and I had that for a really long time, and I obviously donated it or something at some point, and now I'm like, damn it, I wish I'd kept it. But I would love to. Those are one of those things where, like, in the back of your mind when you're thrifting, you're like, okay, if I ever see one of these,
Yep.
I loved the Page Master.
yeah, the Page Master was a good one, but
Yeah.
you didn't watch it.
I know. Like I said, I
Interesting.
probably
I think
wasn't allowed.
I think the kids would enjoy that one too.
I still have never seen that. I don't know.
Not
It's
bad.
I think it definitely. I mean, there's nostalgia goggles for me. For definitely, I'll
Yeah.
admit that. But it's not. I think it's like 80 something minutes long.
That's nothing.
Like, yeah, and it's interesting to see. Like he goes into 3 different story archetypes, so that's fun.
yeah.
Lincoln likes it, so we have watched it a handful of times ever since, and we do watch it, and I'm just like, ooh, but it's good.
I've got one here that Amanda absolutely hates and Ash and I love, and it's called Nothing But Trouble. But I watched it as a kid, where Ash watched it like later in life
Yeah.
with me. But I'm not going to go into it. If you guys want to hear Amanda talk about it and how much she hates it, I want to say, what episode was that where she just goes,
Oh, I couldn't.
don't
guys,
know.
you ruined me. I saw it and it's awful. I got to find out what that episode is. We'll figure it out.
I don't know. I think it was before you
Yep.
moved.
Oh,
It was.
yeah.
It sure
Yep.
was.
Because you gave me your physical copy. Hold on, though. I want to put a pin in that because.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Yes.
not put a pin in it. I want to come back to that because there are these. I'm not going to say their names, but there are these 2 siblings that come into the salon, and they are larger people.
Bubba
and,
Widow Devil.
They. I'm gonna have to find them and send their picture to you
Yes. Okay.
because they're like they smell.
Oh,
And we
it's the
always have
worst. I
candy
hate
up
that.
front,
Yeah,
like,
right.
for little kids. And
Yep.
they know the candy's there and they go eat both of them. And we'll grab handfuls of candy, especially like Dum Dums that we have. Like,
Yeah.
and they'll like crunch the Dum Dums. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening to your teeth? But whenever they come in, I've explained to all the girls now, Bobo Little Devil. And,
But it's not even Little Devil. It's Lil Devil.
It's Lil
yeah,
Devil.
Bobo Little Devil.
It makes it worse.
Dude, it's so good, and the costume design is so gross.
Yeah,
I
so
love
I've
that.
explained to them about Bobo and Little Devil. And so now when they come in, I just, we're all just like, ugh.
Yes.
So it has carried on.
I want to run through just ones real quick that I think are staples of a lot of childhoods, but maybe a lot of people all have them on. I have Home Alone on here. I just watched it a lot. And I don't want to go into that. Everyone knows about Home Alone. I've got Batman and Batman Returns. We watched the shit out of both of those back in the day. I've got Power Rangers. Like when the Power Rangers movie came out, dude, I could not stop watching that freaking film. I thought it was so good.
I had that one too.
Yep. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Mm.
The 1991. I was super into that one. And then I think I had one more. Oh, Mortal Kombat. So like those movies I had on repeat back then, but that was like almost, some of those fell under like the DVD, right? Like I'd watch it on
some of
DVD,
those,
but VHS, but
for my family,
yeah.
those would be considered not kid movies, so we wouldn't be able to
fair.
watch them.
Right. And I didn't want to really, I kind of felt that when I was making the list. It was like, I know those aren't considered the kid movies
Yeah.
or family friendly, but I feel like they deserve a nod. Yeah.
So, Ashley, you haven't thrown one out in a while, so you throw one out there.
Okay, so going back to the animal movies,
Yes.
there's so many different animal movies. One that I watched consistently was Fly Away Home
Oh, I remember
Oh,
that. Yep.
okay.
Yep.
with
Daniels.
Jeff Daniels and
Yep.
Anna Paquin,
Yep.
I believe it was.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
They won an
Um,
Oscar together for that or something like that.
I
It's
think
just
she
a
won
real-
an Oscar.
Really nice
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Well,
movie.
basically what she's building like a flight, like a airplane or a glider or something, correct?
No, so she finds like ducklings.
Oh, she's sending them home.
And they can't fly because they've never
Oh,
learned
okay.
and because they lost
Yeah.
their mom or something like that. And so
Right.
they never learned how to fly. I think
Yeah.
they're geese, I should say, not ducklings. They're like Canada geese or something.
Don't get it wrong.
And so she like becomes imprinted as their mother,
Right.
and they follow her around, but they never learn how to fly, and they need to fly south for the winter.
Right.
So she teaches them how to fly.
By
and
building
part of
a
that was
thing, right?
building the glider
That's what it is.
to like
okay.
encourage them to get up in the air.
I mean, it's
So
a cute story.
it's really heartfelt. It's cute.
Yeah, it's a cute story.
I also watched Andre a lot.
oh my
That-
God.
yeah,
dude, I remember you
sisters
telling me
loved
about
Andre.
that. We saw it. I think once I was going to pick the VHS up, and you were like, "Get that one." You're like, "I love that movie." I think we have it. If
I
I'm
think
not
we
mistaken,
do.
Because
I think
of
we
it.
do.
So
I made you keep it.
I was
it's a
trying
seal,
to
right, or a sea lion?
sea lion. I was
Yep.
trying to explain to one of my clients the other day how in the 90s there was this thing where there was like animal movies and then where they have some relationship with a human child.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I literally
You're
was
not
like,
wrong.
did you ever see the movie Andre? And then she's
Yep.
like, no. And I was just like, okay.
You're right though. Like Dungeon checks in, Andre, Monkey Trouble, Free Willy. It's all the same story of
Yes.
these kids helping these animals get where they need to go.
So,
that's
going off animal movies, one movie that I was absolutely obsessed with as a kid was Beethoven.
Oh, I remember Beethoven.
I
Yeah.
loved Beethoven, and that dad was always so angry.
Yeah,
so
I
angry.
know. He made
And-
a good angry dad.
Oh, and to me, I would always be like, "Listen, get rid of the dog, then."
Can't do that because
I get
your
it.
kids will give you the puppy dog eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, they will.
Yep.
But I had the Super Nintendo game for that, and I still play that fucking game. And as Beethoven, you jump on tables and like eat like T-bone steaks and stuff. It's the best.
We
Yes.
owned Beethoven's second, so I didn't watch the first one as much. I don't know why we had the second one. Probably got it for free at McDonald's. But we watched that one a lot. It's where they have puppies.
That's when they have puppies, and they're so cute.
Dude, that
They're
that
so
actor's name, by the way, the Mad Dad.
Yeah, what's his name?
His name is Charles Grodin, but he passed away in
Yes.
2021.
Yeah, he probably had a fucking heart
So-
attack from yelling his whole
That's
life.
what
I
I
think,
was
I
thinking,
think Bonnie
yeah,
Hunt
uh-huh.
was the mom, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
probably. Yeah.
Um,
I want to say
that's-
he was also the dad in Clifford, or
Yes.
the brother in Clifford, or
Yep.
something like
Mm.
that. Yeah.
That's,
so good,
That's
dude.
why I've always wanted a Saint Bernard.
Oh yes. That's
I
so
would name it
good, dude.
Beethoven.
So
Definitely
Um,
gave St. Bernard's popularity, that's for sure.
Oh, yes.
It's
Whoa,
like it's like
he made it till
what?
86, dude. I didn't
Okay.
realize that.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, right. That's wild.
all right.
That's wild.
So I'll do another one here. We
Yeah,
all
what
know
you got?
we all know how much I love Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah.
It's not the movie you think I'm gonna say. The movie that I watched all the time as a kid was George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle's good, dude.
What'd you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say Encino Man.
I wasn't
As a
allowed to
kid?
watch that.
Encino. I watch Encino Man all the time, dude. It's so good.
Hell no.
Your parents
wasn't
were not
allowed to watch
around.
that.
Oh no, my parents did not give a shit. They were like, those kids can watch whatever they
Obviously.
want. Whatever they want. I was watching Skinamax, dude, 11 years old.
Oh, God.
That explains a lot.
You can go listen to our Boobies podcast.
I don't know if I've seen George of the Jungle to this day.
It's been a long time. It's
I
been
feel
a long
like it
time.
was
Silly.
on ABC all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's stupid. Like it's got like it's got like a gorilla, like a man in a gorilla suit playing a gorilla. And
Could use live
but I
ones,
mean,
huh?
listen, Brendan Fraser is fit in that movie, okay?
Yeah,
but
there it is.
but that wasn't the thing when I was young. I actually my dad and I used to watch reruns of the old George of the Jungle cartoon. So then when the
Oh,
movie came out,
yeah.
I was already like sold, but then I thought it was funny to a little kid. So your kids might think it's funny because it's just
That's
stupid.
fair.
Probably.
That's fair.
Andy, do you have anything on your list that's kind of a bummer?
Yes. My Girl.
Oh,
Uh.
my girl. I didn't put it on my list,
It's
and I
so
almost did.
good, but it's so sad.
It's so sad.
Yes, their relationship though, just together in general, is great. And then like the bees, he needs his glasses.
He needs his
can't see
glasses.
without his glasses.
I didn't.
It's so sad, dude.
I did not watch that movie until I got older.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty intense, I think. But I feel like I watched it a lot, like as a kid.
Yeah,
so,
me
yeah,
too.
Yep.
But you're right. There's
Yeah.
nothing happy about that movie.
Nope, that was the bummer one though that I have on
Yeah.
my list. I don't have any other like really sad ones. This is funny, Amanda. I'm imagining you like this movie, but I had Ash try to watch it and she was distracted with the kids, so I don't think she got too far into it.
Is it Goonies?
But it's Goonies. And I
Oh.
watched Goonies all the time and I loved Goonies.
Yes.
And
I
Ash
really
still
liked
has
the
not
10 minutes I
seen
saw. I
Goonies
really
yet.
liked it.
So I want her to watch Goonies because I think
Okay,
she'd enjoy it.
So let me tell you some shit. Chris
Yeah.
hasn't seen it either. And so I keep waiting to be like, okay, we're going to have family movie night. And he goes, it's really violent, isn't it? And I'm like, not really. Like, I don't think it's any more violent than like a superhero movie. Like,
Just from
um,
what I saw, I don't think it's kid
I-
appropriate.
I think there's moments that are scary, but yeah.
it's not the most appropriate. Especially when there's like a dead body that falls out of a freezer.
I think the best
onto the
part is
kid.
like when they're like trying to glue the penis back onto the statue and
My
they go
God.
upside down.
If God had made them
That's
like this, they'd be
sticking up.
pissing in their faces. I love the movie. See, okay, I love Baby Ruth bars, like the candy bar.
Yeah.
And so whenever I get them, like in bed, I'll be like, Baby Ruth, like to Chris. And he doesn't understand what I'm doing.
Oh
and
no.
so
Sad.
now I'm like, okay, well, now we need to watch Goonies.
Yes.
I at least understand most of the references.
Yes,
he
you
made.
do, but I think if you sat down and watched it, I think you'd enjoy it.
I think I would too.
Okay.
I did
Well,
really enjoy
Yeah,
what I
that's
saw.
good, yeah.
When we were in Newport or Seaside last year, we were at Cannon Beach, and that's
Yeah.
like the Rock. And
Yeah.
Yep.
so I was like, we get back to the house, and everybody's like, let's put a movie on. And I was like, we should watch Goonies. Like, we're here. Let's watch
Yeah.
Goonies. And they were all like, I've never seen that. And I was like, what?
What?
Like,
Yeah, how are you? What? I know that's how I
So-
felt when Ash said she'd never seen it.
I know. And so I put it on, and like one of the first things you see is this like truck race on Cannon Beach.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
And there,
It's super cool.
everybody was into it at first because they're like, "Oh wow, like it is Cannon Beach."
Yeah.
And so then we turned it off for some reason, but we didn't get very far. But I'm literally like, we're fucking watching this movie again.
It's so good.
I love Goonies.
You got anything else, Ash?
Kindergarten Cop.
Oh,
Mhm.
Dominic, get
Who is-
down.
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Everybody dies, you know. It's probably a tumor.
I think this was one that was
It's not a
probably
tumor.
on TV a lot.
I think that's when I saw it a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
And
good,
I think
though.
they cut out some parts when they put it on TV,
Schwarzenegger
but-
Oh,
did.
yeah.
He honestly, with like his thick ass accent, and being an action star, he sometimes did these like cute, like quirky things where he could still be an action star, but still be like a funny
And
family
endearing,
character. Yeah.
yeah.
Endearing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll put that one up there. I watch that a lot.
It's very, to me, I think like that's like classic 90s movie.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
okay, I'll throw one of mine out there. I've got a couple Disney ones we can talk about.
All right.
I didn't put anything Disney on my list intentionally.
Yeah, that's fair.
um,
I'll get it.
A Goofy movie.
Oh yeah, that one. Maybe just because I know the song.
All I remember is Leaning Tower of Jesus.
Dude,
That's
he's
all
like
you need, baby.
He's literally Pauly Shore.
Yes, it is
Pauly
Pauly Shore. That's it. No, that movie's so good. And like
Yep.
now it's getting a little more popularized.
Mhm.
And I kind of don't like it.
Oh.
But I do like
Fair.
that you can find some goofy merch more.
Right.
But yeah, I'm a little like, no, it's my but we watched it with Lincoln and he likes it. So that one's a fun one.
Jeez, Max.
I think the second one's fine. I think the first one's better.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen the second one. I think I've only seen the first one.
The second one's called an extremely goofy movie. It's not bad. It's not bad
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
I just think the first one like really hits it right. Like,
Sure.
and then the second one you're like, yeah, it's fine. Like,
That's fair.
and honestly, a Goofy movie is a good one because like if you haven't watched it with your family, it's not too much Disney movie that you're just like, It's funny.
Fair.
and then we've talked about it a million times, so I don't have to talk about it too much, but A Nightmare Before Christmas.
I think that's a hard one not to be in the rotation, but I almost feel like it's seasonal to me. So, like,
Not
we
to me.
still watch it.
I would watch it any time of the year.
That's right.
But Andy won't let me.
it doesn't belong in summer. It doesn't belong in
It's
summer.
just a good movie. I don't
It is a
care
good
what the
movie.
theme is.
It's
It's
a
a
good
good
movie,
movie.
but it doesn't.
I
belong
did
in
not watch it
summer.
as a kid. I didn't
Get
watch
outta
it till
here.
I was an adult. But
But
I,
you
we-
are allowed to watch it for Halloween or Christmas season. That's fine.
We were not allowed to see it in the movie theater because my mom said it would be too scary. And then they rented it and watched it. And they decided that if we wanted to watch it, it'd be okay. So then I rented it. And then I loved it. And it came,
Heck yeah.
I remember the VHS case, like the plastic around the clamshell was black.
Oh,
and that
that's
was always
cool.
like the
Yeah.
cool thing. And then I think another movie is now considered Disney, but I'll come back to that later. But the other Disney movie that I remember seeing in the theater that I was like instantly obsessed with was Hercules.
Oh yes, right.
I
We've
love
talked about
Hercules.
before. It's a great one.
I think for me, Hercules, it's funny, but I loved the music because the Muses, I
Yes.
was like obsessed with
Yes.
the Muses.
I remember who is the Danny? Is it Danny DeVito? Is the little
As Phil, yeah.
Yeah. I like
He's
it.
great. And
It's
then
good.
James Woods as Hades is great.
Yep,
All the voice acting works.
that was a good one. It is a
Yeah.
good one.
it's
The
another
kids
one I
need to
didn't
watch
see
that
till I was an
stuff.
adult.
Well, it fell after we were out of the Disney.
We
Like-
have seen it with the kids.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Cam talks, like, she'll bring up Hades sometimes.
Oh,
She'll
she
be like,
remembers
what's that blue guy?
Okay.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Ash?
I have one last movie because
Hit it.
I followed the rules and only put 10 movies
Well,
on my list.
Listen,
pretty
I
much
couldn't
done.
narrow it down.
Yeah.
I have 5
I'm-
more.
Okay,
Yeah.
this movie might be canceled, but it's Ghost Dad.
Oh yes,
Oh.
I got you, Ghost Dad, because you said you liked it so much.
I
too.
watched it a lot as
You
a
know
kid.
what? It's not his
so
fault.
weird.
It's not his fault. Okay.
Stop.
He did his. he
Stop.
did-
Stop.
He
Stop.
did it. You
Stop.
see.
We're
Listen,
not going to go
here's-
into
Here's what
Bill
we'll say.
Cosby's-
Here's what
What's
we'll
it
say.
called? Noted. What's it called? Drama noted, or what does Pete Holmes say?
Oh, God, what does it say?
I don't know. He's just.
I don't remember now.
yeah.
Scandal noted.
Scandal noted. yes.
Scandal noted.
Here's what we'll
Move
say.
on.
Yes, noted, but we're talking about in the 90s.
Yes, right.
And at the time-
at the time,
That
But
was
this
a
one
decent
was
movie.
also fairly sad.
Ghost Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they lose their dad, but then he comes back, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
I just remember being like halfway in the ground. Like,
Oh, sad.
no, I mean, like, not like buried halfway in the, but like, he came back as ghost, but he
Yeah.
was like, at his waist was at the floor level.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So he's
Yeah.
literally like halfway in the ground.
right.
And he's like,
Um,
yes, he's being buried.
Yes.
Uh,
oh.
What else do I have on here that's of worth? Homeward Bound was one that I watched a lot. What Michael J. Fox, I think, voiced one of the dogs, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll believe you.
And then I only have one left on the list after that, and it is Dennis the Menace.
Like prank.
And wood. Dude, seriously,
that one,
Christopher
honestly,
Lloyd's character as like the evil homeless guy is
It
so
didn't
good.
make my list, but it should have because I probably watched it 100 times.
Yeah.
But like when he's making beans.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
cutting the
right.
can
Yep.
open.
That entire scene, man. Hey, Mr. Wilson, is so good. Watch her Matthew just being
He makes
so
it great,
upset,
Mr. Wilson.
bro. It was such a great film. I loved it. That kid did nothing, I think, after.
I
So-
think I've seen it once.
Oh, Amanda, I feel like that was a staple for me. VHS, clamshell, open that thing up, Dennis the Menace all day. Yep. That was a good
'Kay.
one. That's all I got. I think that's it. That was my childhood wrapped up. So if you guys got
Okay,
other
I got a
things-
couple more.
Yep.
Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh, yep. You've talked about that one before.
I love that movie so much. And then I've tried to get Lincoln to watch it, and like he'll be into it, and then all of a sudden he'll be like, "I'm done." I'm like, "You fucker."
Oh, I'm sad.
Hocus Pocus was one that I watched all the time.
Yeah, you got to put Hocus Pocus on the list.
And then Now and Then was one that all of my sisters could agree on.
That's the one with like Rosie O'Donnell,
Rosie
right?
O'Donnell.
Christina
Okay.
Ricci.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that movie's
yeah.
so good.
I definitely rented that multiple times.
It's just
Yes.
like what
Yeah.
the four ladies talk reminiscing about their childhood, right? Okay.
Yeah, and it goes
Yeah.
like they do flashbacks and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, it was definitely one that I watched as I got older, but
Yeah.
it's a really good one. And then I have two more. Three Ninjas.
Oh, I almost
you
put
ever
that
watch
one
that?
on the list, but then I was like,
Oh.
I don't remember it. I was like,
Dude,
yeah.
I loved Three Ninjas. Mostly like the first like one or two, even the third one's okay, but as they
Yeah.
went on, it was just like, stop it.
yeah.
I
fair.
just remember it was what, Pat Morita, and then the youngest one's name was Tum Tum.
Yep, it was Tum Tum, Rocky, and I always forget the middle. Cole.
Yeah.
Cole's the middle kid. Yeah.
And then finally Space Jam.
Oh, that one's not
Here's your
bad.
chance, do your dance.
I think again, I didn't go into the animated stuff. It was way more like live action kid or family stuff. Like I don't know, maybe it's like I felt like the animated were just like those were ones that you were going to watch regardless, but then you had ones that for some reason the live action stuff like hit differently. Does that make sense? Like watching Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen hits differently than watching a Disney animated film.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're
Yeah.
like related to it
I think it's more
differently.
relatable.
Yeah.
Space
I
Jam's
mean-
definitely not relatable.
Right.
No.
Right.
Well,
but
you know,
good. But good.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of movies that I remember being on when I was a kid. Like
Mhm.
my mom watched Free Willy a lot, and
Yep.
my sisters liked Wizard of Oz, and there was a handful of movies that would be on regularly, but like I didn't necessarily want to watch them or whatever. But we would watch movies a lot. Like we watched
Yeah.
a lot of movies.
I didn't put anything on the list that I watched at my grandma's house.
Oh, okay.
Because it was definitely like a very curated like selection of movies. So it's not like I chose to watch them all the time. It was just like, that's what you watched at grandma's house because that's what she had. Like
yeah.
like
Shirley Temple movies.
Oh,
and
Yes.
Ma and Pa Kettle.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. Stupid. It's
Scamper the Penguin.
really dumb.
On Our Own.
Oh yeah, there were some grandma
Like-
ones. We never had any hits like that though. Grandma was like National Geographic,
And then for
like-
some reason, Titanic.
Oh yeah, Titanic.
Yeah.
Because my grandma
See,
thought it was really good amongst her
if
Shirley
my-
Temple movies.
because she
Yeah.
remembers when it sailed off.
The random times the random times that my parents would pick the movies, my mom would always pick like my mom loved the movie Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. It was like this old school
Right.
movie.
Okay.
My dad loved John Wayne, so I've seen a ton of
Yeah.
John Wayne movies.
Yeah.
And then I started liking Elvis, and my dad liked Elvis. So my first depiction of Las Vegas was from Viva Las Vegas.
Oh,
Um,
nice. Okay.
And so it was all kinds of shit like that. And I just remember as we got older, it was just like, can we fucking pick a movie already? Like,
Let's go.
well, and
I-
how many times
yeah.
can a person watch Free Willy and be sane?
Fair. I will also say Ash started it off by saying like things just didn't hit the same, and it's true. Like if you reminisce back through this, you're like, God, why did that stuff? Why was
I
that
want to
stuff
watch
so good?
everything we talked
Right?
about.
Oh,
Yes.
it's so good. Yeah,
And
you don't get the same feeling.
Whenever I make a list and we go through a list, I delete it as I go. But I started to delete this list, and I was like, wait. I was like, I need to watch
Wait,
these with
wait, wait.
Lincoln.
That's awesome. So what are you going back and watching after this, ladies? What's the first one getting popped in?
Probably Death Becomes Her.
There you go.
That one's so
I'd
good.
watch it with you.
Probably for me, realistically, I'm gonna watch a movie with Lincoln tomorrow. When I go pick him up, so we'll probably either watch Goonies or Blank Check.
There you go. I mean, Blank Check was the one that crossed all three of our lists,
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
So it's probably worth it.
I find it wild that we all only had one movie that was on all of our lists.
Yeah.
Really? We just had one?
Yeah, there was just one. Amanda, was Jumanji on your list or not?
Yes.
Okay. Was Power Rangers on your list or no?
Yeah, it was on my original list, and then
Okay.
I was like, I have way too many. I have to cut a couple
Yeah,
down, and
that's
that
how I
one made
was
the
too.
cut, unfortunately.
I literally want to go watch that stupid If Looks Could Kill movie. I need to watch that stupid ass movie. Dude.
I bet you could find like a YouTube, like
yeah,
someone
I already
YouTubed
looked it up. I can watch it on
okay.
YouTube if I want, but like, yeah, it's so dumb, dude. So dumb. That's like telling everyone that Nickelback's not that bad. Awesome, Ash. Good topic. Well done today.
Yay.
Amanda, if people have some childhood favorites, where can they shout at us?
So I would love to know people's like random childhood favorite movies. Come head over to our Instagram at Real Awkward Podcast. Slide into our DMs and let us know what your favorite movies were. We also have a TikTok at Real Awkward Podcast, and we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Real Awkward Podcast. And now we're on YouTube Music. So if you want your episodes to automatically download for you, go to YouTube Music and check us out over there.
Woo!
That's right.
She's so good at that. We
Okay.
should pay her.
Yeah, we should. Pay her in love and wishes.
Sounds about right.
All right, guys. It's been real. It's been awkward. It's been real awkward. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello, Real Awkward listeners. The Real Awkward podcast turns 3 this year. That's right, 3 years of fun, entertaining content for you guys, and we cannot do it without listeners like you. If you guys want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/Real Awkward Podcast. For $3 a month, that gets you access to exclusive shows, merchandise, and name shoutouts on the show. We also will take your suggestions for show topics. Thank you so much for 3 years, and we look forward to many more.